For ground archers, your stance is pretty important. For horse archers, we don't focus a lot on our stance because we move around so much on horseback. If I'm riding a horse, ideally my shoulders are side on to that target. But targets are not always side on to the direction in which you're riding. Sometimes the target is forward in front of you, and sometimes the target is behind you, and sometimes if you don't want to switch sides, that target, you go over the horse's head and you're shooting offside here. It's called an offside shot, right? And so your stance on horseback, because we'd be in a 2-point, would change. 2-point meaning we stand on horseback with the knees bent and we try to counter the horse. When the horse's back moves up and down, we try to move down and up to counter that. So I have here a side shot, and I have here a front shot, and you can see what I'm doing with my legs. I've turned in the saddle. My shoulders are still side onto the target. I have here a back shot, and I'm still doing the same thing, but I've turned around. Now I'm sitting into my back leg. And then we have the offside shot, which is even more extreme, turning even more. So those are some 3 other stances that you need to shoot on horseback. And when you're doing that, normally if my horse is heading in this direction and my target is side on, I don't need to turn in the saddle. But what I don't want to do for, let's say, a back shot is stay with my hips facing forward and my waist turns, and now I'm twisted because that becomes inaccurate. It's very hard to shoot accurately like that. Same with the front shot. I don't want to keep my hips facing straight, or my hips facing straight forward and my waist turning, because it becomes, I'm twisting my body, it's inaccurate, I have no strength and no integrity. So I want to turn the hips, which means I get this knee in, and then I'm going to sit into this back leg. Okay, once I sit into this back leg, if I stick my bum out a bit, just a bit, now I have my shoulders side on and my waist side on and my hips side on to that target. I have integrity in my stance. Same with the back shot. Again, I'm going to sit into that back leg. I'm not going to tip forward as much as I'm not going to tip forward at all if I can help it. I'm going to sit here, maybe just stick my bum out a bit for stability in the pelvis, and then I can shoot back off the horse while I'm riding in this direction towards camera. And then again for the offside, it's just like a front shot, but even more extreme, because now I'm shooting across on the other side of the horse. Personally, I prefer if there's time to switch sides with my bow and shoot left-handed, for example, but there's not always time for that on certain tracks. So you can see this knee is in the horse, and this foot's facing away from the horse. I'm not twisted to get there, okay? And so those really are the stances. And then of course we have the kabak, where we go off, the offside shoulder comes down inside the neck of the horse, and we shoot up. That's the correct, or the most accepted technique. And then we have different shots on the ground, some behind the neck, or some people just shoot here, and there's not a lot of difference in the stance for those.